welcome to episode 4 of Mama's Land, the Duck and Cover Forum's official podcast. I'm Megatron, I'm here with Gimp Mask, and a special guest, Amis.
It's Amis, but sometimes they call it Ames. Like, I start calling it Ames. But I got to say to you guys, I've kind of been lying to you for now a bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Actually, this whole time I have been putting on an accent. Actually, my accent sounds like this. So I just figured it'd be nice and crazy to kind of surprise you with a Finnish accent.
Yeah, it made me feel a bit more
At home.
A bit less shit.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry, man.
Where are you from originally?
Finland? No, well, I mean, I was actually born in the colonies.
The colonies of Finland.
Yes, the colonies of Finland. No, I was actually born in Hong Kong. So I got American teachers, British teachers, and English is my first language.
And you also speak Finnish?
Yes, I speak also the rally English, as we call it here in our country.
I had a Finnish teacher with a Finnish accent, which probably explains everything.
Yes. But yeah, I hope you're not too shocked. I hope you will forgive me for this transgression and we can move on, you know?
I think we'll manage.
Okay.
Now, what's the theme of today's podcast?
I think it might be hyacinth.
It's a good theme.
And I mean, there's several, aren't there? Several themes.
Yeah, probably several hyacinths.
Yeah.
Smiley and
Nikolai.
All the gang.
Exactly.
I think he's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. See, you know, I completely forgot about Jesus because I didn't find any of his posts in the forum anymore. So that's kind of particular, isn't it?
They are in there. I found them.
Oh, okay. Was it Jesus_Christ?
No, just Jesus Christ.
Okay.
If you search for the username, it should come up. But Hyacinth said that he was banned. But who would ban Jesus Christ? I doubt it.
Yeah. He could be Dreadnought.
Yeah, and Hyacinth could be lying.
I think it's very likely. I'm reading through their old posts, so I'm starting to get more of a sense of Hyacinth, but they are a high-impact poster, very important to the forums, and nice avatar.
Yeah, once I came back on DAC, I noticed he's been doing a good job of trying to keep the forums alive, posting, nobody replying, still posting. I admire that.
Oh yeah, going since 2015, which was definitely a downtime.
I think it kicked up again on 2020, didn't it?
I don't know, most of my membership has been a downtime.
I think the corona made wonders.
Definitely. It's a good year for Duck and Cover.
Yeah, man. The disease. Duck and Cover.
It's been nice to see all the old heads come back. Some good journalistic work there on behalf of my colleague.
Yeah, Gimp Mask, yeah, I gotta say that. Thank you. I mean, it's been a nostalgia bomb reading through everything. Even if I was not very much an active member, it's just been hilarious going back through old posts of all the, more active members and stuff like that. It just gives back memories.
But I'm still pretty surprised of how many people replied. So I was thinking of sending a message to random people, kind of remind them that site still exists. Because Atoga came back to post after his hiatus.
Yeah, that was strange. I'd never expected him to come back.
Too cool.
Very cool.
So a few other people... Wait, Kazim came back too.
Yeah.
That was strange also. But we're missing Redlaw 83.
I think he's just waiting for Snake's comeback.
Oh.
Just refreshing the front page every day.
Is Mr. Tea Time active anymore? He was in No Mutants Allowed for a while also, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah. I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think he might have been there last time 6 years ago, so I don't know.
I think he's made it with his book and everything, piano. I don't think he has time for us anymore.
That's too big.
Didn't Redlaw write a book as well? It was some sort of a sci-fi book he was working on.
I'm not sure.
I think it was him. I was going through the old posts.
I have a fucking vague memory about that too.
Yeah, I never read any of it, but he was asking for some science information about how sound travel on Pluto. People just telling, oh, there's no atmosphere, so it probably wouldn't. So I'm not sure if it was as big of a success as Mr. Tea Time's book.
After the Night Command post, it was they went there, didn't they? Mr. Tea Time and all that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all founding members, but yeah, a lot of big success stories. Besides, we can't keep mentioning Rex every episode. But they are famous.
Rex is definitely the most famous.
I wonder if we can get him on as a guest. That'd be good.
I'm sure he would join.
I don't know. I think he's downplaying the time he put into Fallout now because he's a big shot.
I mean, I think he would probably rather talk about, to be quite honest, about the Fallout stuff rather than anything else right now.
We could do this alt-right episode to lure him in.
He has a YouTube channel, but the only thing he's uploaded is an interview with Brett Smith about Jawbreakers.
Nice.
And it's 3.5 hours long. So I think I might put that as the background for this video.
Jawbreakers, like the candy.
Apparently. I've no idea.
I think that's a podcast name, Jawbreakers. Possibly.
Ah.
Where can I see the latency again? Oh yeah, it's right over there. Okay, so we're pretty latent all around.
Good pings all round.
Feels like it.
It reminds me when I was back when I first started playing games on the internet. I was playing original Team Fortress for Quake. I had a ping of maybe 400 and I had the graphics settings set up to the minimum. So I had to play the engineer just to build stuff and let them do the killing because I couldn't aim for shit with that.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
That reminds me of, did you guys play back in the olden days Dark Forces 2? Jedi Knight? The first Jedi Knight game.
Is that a Star Wars game?
Yes.
I've played one, and it was like an RPG thing.
Oh, that's probably Knights of the Old Republic you're thinking of.
Yes, that sounds right. Aye.
Jedi Knight, the original Dark Forces?
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah. Now, the sequel to that one, which came in 97, 98? No, wait. When did Dark Forces come? 94 or something?
I'm checking the internet.
Jamie pulled that up.
We needed Jamie. 1995 came Star Wars Dark Forces, and then I'm pretty sure it was the successor was Star Wars Jedi Knight.
It looks pretty good. I used to like all the colour lighting they had in 90s first-person shooters. Very atmospheric, like Unreal.
That's the amazing thing, like, everything with the music, even when they made the synthesizer music back in the day, they at least knew how to, like, make something new. They hit the right keys and stuff. It wasn't this... One thing I hate about modern games is that they try to put everything into a Hollywood production, where you put orchestra and so on. It's just boring, because it's not the... You don't have the guy looking at the game and saying, oh, this scene needs this. It's just like, oh, give us a ambient soundtrack that reminds you of darkness or something. That's it.
Well, that's true. I think that, for me at least, the FPS games went to shit when they got rid of monsters. Everything was Call of Duty copy, pretty much. So everything was war theme. Well, I think there's been a bit of a renaissance there lately, which is nice.
Yeah, I always like the monsters, the ghouls, the slime, and just generally that sort of atmosphere.
Blow it up your ass.
That's the one. Aye. I was looking at Duke Nukem this morning, actually, because they have them all on the re-updated. Well, I thought they were going to be updated, but they weren't. But anyway, it just reminded me how much I enjoyed those games.
Yeah, but that shit wouldn't fly at all nowadays. Think about how much press it would get.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever play Duke Nukem Forever?
Oh, no.
Neither did I. It looked like shit, though.
I think there was a problem where the head dev, I guess he's the creator of Duke Nukem, but he wanted to keep updating the engine. He had such an ambitious project that he could never go forward and release it. So that's why it was so late, because he was always wanting to add stuff, and it was just too late when he released it.
It's really tricky with art, knowing when to step away from a painting or something. So I guess the same is true for games.
Yeah, I would like to name it the George Lucas syndrome.
Do you guys remember John Romero, who worked on Doom games?
Yeah.
And he had a long break from games and worked on this game called Daikatana.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that one. I remember the advertising for it.
Yeah, Tom Romero's about to make you his bitch.
Yeah.
Good times.
Oh yeah. I've met him.
You have?
Well, when I say I've met him, I've walked past him several times as we sat down at a games conference. He still has that long hair and wears jewellery and that. And his wife also works in the games industry. Anyway, lots of people are fawning over him, regardless. Or maybe because of Daikatana. But I like Doom a lot, definitely.
I think he was kind of this rock star character of the gaming world, even though he doesn't really look the part, but he acts the part at least.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he kind of looks like a Carlos Santana.
Yes, definitely. It looks like he has sex, A lot of other game development people don't.
I think that's changed a lot. One thing in the gaming industry is back in the 90s, it was still kind of you could almost say in today's standards, it would be an indie industry, It wasn't catched by the mainstream so much. So they had more creative input in the games and so on.
Yeah.
I think nowadays it's quite mainstream. You can't say like a game dev doesn't have sex because a game dev is going to look like Cash look. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's a problem with that anymore. It's so mainstream.
I guess that's also why, what you were saying about the soundtracks earlier, and there's not as much wiggle room for creativity. I heard somewhere that the gaming industry is bigger than movie and music industry combined these days.
I think it would have to be, considering how much sports sponsorship EA has, for example. There's a lot of casual gamers. It's accepted nowadays to be a casual gamer.
Yeah, mobile games are huge, even though I don't play any of them, but...
Yeah, my mum does.
Yeah, older people do. It's my father, every time I've seen him, he just has his phone on his hand 24/7. He's like, hey dad, let's watch a movie. And he's like, okay. Then he just on his phone. And I get really angry because it's like, you're like a teenager, but you're a 65-year-old man. Jesus Christ, what's going on?
What sort of games does he play?
Candy Crush.
Oh yeah, the classic. Candy Crack, you should call it.
Yeah, definitely.
My mum plays sort of these town building games where you have to keep expanding, it puts resources back.
Mafia Wars.
Yeah, that kind of shit, yeah. She's been playing it for the same thing for like 2 years, and she's like maxed out all this shit, but still just goes through it. It's like a job.
Oh yeah, remember time when Facebook had that whole gaming thing going on? I think it was Gangster something.
Yeah, there was some...
I can't remember.
Something like that. Farmville.
Yeah, Farmville, all that stuff.
So what kind of... do you still play games?
Sorry, I was muted. I muted myself accidentally from you.
Well, we didn't want to hear from you anyway.
Yeah, fair. I'll just mute myself.
No, come back.
Well, yeah, about the gangster war things, going back there for a minute, I remember played it for a little while, and took me maybe an hour to realize that first you're at level 1 and you have 5 hit points and your weapon does 2 damage, but then you just add a 0 to end of all of those. Basically, it just repeats itself endlessly, except all the stats just get higher.
It sounds like a good game.
Yeah, perfect. As for what kind of games I play these days, I haven't played anything in maybe a year. I finally finished NetHack.
Oh yeah,
a year ago.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
What's NetHack?
It's do you know the genre of roguelike games?
Is it like, I don't know, I can just guess, but it's like a tekstikäyttöliittymä RPG.
And the roguelike games are usually dungeon crawlers or something to that effect with permadeath, and they're really tough, and I've played that game since I was 10. So the only reason I wanted to finish it because it had some nostalgia value for me.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a good game if you play it today for the first time. And as for the newer games, I like when you were talking about Jedi Knight, I like the new Star Wars Jedi game. I don't remember what it's called. It's very much like the newer Tomb Raider games, but set in a Star Wars setting.
Yeah, it was, what was it called? Fallen Order? Was it that?
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, I think there was a huge problem with the Battlefront games. I think EA has made, since they got the license, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe less, but they made 3 Star Wars games.
Yeah, I remember I was really looking forward to Battlefront 2, but then they added all of these microtransactions and you could buy some loot crates. And I wasn't done with that, but I just heard from one of my friends maybe a month ago that it's a much better game now, and some reviewers have revisited the game and have given it much better scores now, so maybe worth a shot.
Probably, but like for me, the last straw with EA was when they made Command & Conquer 4. My Kane avatar probably reveals that, but I'm a huge fan of the Westwood series, mainly because I really like the story. It's very interesting how they made like it very atmospheric, and it was like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi world, and I really liked that. Like it was the music with which Frank Klepacki, he was really, I think he's still a really good composer, and they really nailed the game, the atmosphere, the music, and everything else. And then you got Tiberium Wars, which was Command & Conquer free, and it was okay. It was good, but it wasn't like, because there was probably one of the original makers involved in that project, yeah?
Was that the one with mutants in it?
Which one?
Tiberian Wars?
Yeah, Tiberian Sun was actually... Yeah, Tiberian Sun was the first one where they had mutants in it.
That's the one, yeah.
Tiberian Sun was the post-apocalyptic world. Before that came the first Command & Conquer game, which they just decided, hey, let's have this like crystal that terraforms the Earth come here, and that's like the base of a religious war and a NATO type of group that tries to fight against this religious organization. And this was, by the way, before 9/11. Then came Command & Conquer 4, which was a clear like decision between the marketing directors of a company where like, hey guys, we need like you to make more of this competitive gaming and take away base building, take everything that made the game good and make it like a FIFA copy or something that they can market as a FIFA copy, a competitive game, and they can make more money off it. And they completely ruined the series after that, and that's why I have completely boycotted EA.
I tried they had a sequel that was some kind of a FPS. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. But there was I think a free beta on Steam, maybe.
They had one FPS was Command & Conquer Renegade.
Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah.
That's a funny thing because that's also EA. Because the Command & Conquer series was known for being like dark and body parts flying and stuff like that. It was kind of the creepy vibe in it, and then they were really deep in Electronic Arts deal back in that day. And first they had these screenshots of, the game looking like a real FPS. What do you call a real FPS? But anyway, it looked more like you had real weapons, you had real uniforms and stuff. And then after that, when they released it, it was cartoonified. Because obviously they wanted to sell it to everyone.
Typical.
Bloody EA.
Yeah, I actually worked for EA for a bit. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I think I talk about me working in the games industry in one of the previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And the company that I worked with gave me an assignment to go work in Madrid at their some kind of a testing headquarters there. I hated it. I mean, I think hate is a bit much considering I got a free flat in Madrid and could just go to work every day hungover and play video games for a living. So maybe it wasn't all that bad, but it was definitely this corporate kind of environment. Very weird. It didn't work for me.
That's one thing I really hate about the game industry. It's just become like that. It's just become Hollywood, basically. That's it. Or the AAA games. But luckily, we have now much more indie companies. Of course, it's harder for them to market themselves and make the big bucks. But at least there is those people trying, and I applaud them.
Like Prosper.
Yeah, like...
I think we can put some links to his videos with the podcast, but...
Definitely.
Maybe... all of our listeners don't know, but Prosper's still alive and kicking, working on a game. I think.
The combat looked very immersive. It looked very sexy. It looked like
Instead of punching people, you bow at them, maybe. And it's first-person game, but turn-based.
Sounds good. Kind of innovation I'd like to see in the indie industry. Where can I find more information about this game?
rpgcodex.isitnet. There you have to register on the forums. There's a subforum called Prosperium, which is dedicated to him. I think it's some kind of a forum jail where they lock up all the shit posters as well. But he posts all the kind of he's keeping a dev diary, keeping us up to speed with the latest developments with his game.
Good.
Yeah, I think honestly now, I think Prosper was ahead of his time.
Oh yeah. I always wondered if they were serious or not about it, but overall, I think they were, and I like it all. It's really interesting. Way ahead of his time, as you say.
Yeah. I mean, he cannot be trolling anymore after 15 years.
No, that's a lot of dedication to the bit, really. Never breaking character.
One thing that sort of bummed me out was there's this thread where someone asked to post all of the goodies by him throughout the years. I posted some pictures that I'd found on DAC and linked to the interview that Pooper Scooper did with him. And he was pretending that it was some kind of a Prosperian myth. It was fake. So he has forgotten his roots. He's in the big leagues now. With Mr. Tea Time, doesn't care about the small cells anymore.
It's hard once you kind of reach the top stratosphere of, being Prosper, really.
Hey, well, you know the story of, God damn it, what was that Greek myth? The guy with the wings and shit?
Icarus.
Icarus, yeah. When he went too close to the sun, what happened?
He made a 3D model, posted it on the forums.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, want to hear my origin story for Duck?
Please.
That's what it's all about.
Okay, so back in the day when you had those magazines, PC magazines, that you delivered to your house, like PC Gaming or something, I got a subscription for that where you get, like, I think once a month, once every 3 months, something like this. And that got a game copy with it, if you guys remember that kind of subscription system.
Oh, yeah. I still have some knocking about thing.
Yeah, and I think my brother was the first to play this game called Fallout 2. And first the Temple of Trials came out, and that was really looked like nobody can beat that. I tried to play it, and I could never get out of the Temple of Trials because I was a dumb kid. I think I must have been like 10 years old or something then. But after a while, I saw my brother had got to the city, like Vault City, and I was like, what the hell? What is this? This is very interesting. And then I started to try more and play the game. I was so immersed with it. Everything, I was reading, like the dialogue and something, and it cracked me up. And still to this day, there was a situation where if you have like a fight with the bridge guard in Arroyo, and he gets pissed off at you because you're talking to him snarkily, and if you go to say hi to him next time, he's like, oh, well, look, it's the chosen one. And then you say, fuck you. And then you just walk away. It's just hilarious because you could choose what your character is like in any situation. But yeah, that made me interested in the game. So I played it over and over again. Then I started looking at like, whoa, when's Fallout 3 coming out? And this is the tragic thing. Because when you're 10 years old, you play like a Fallout game, and then when you become 13, you're still waiting for a Fallout 3. So I tried to find forums. I think there was No Mutants Allowed during that time. There was Vault 13, Duck and Cover. I can't remember everything clearly. And I was looking at No Mutants Allowed and Duck and Cover, both of those sites I went into, and I was looking at the modding community. And I was just searching the forum posts. I looked at No Meanness Loud once in a while, but I mostly found myself going back to Duck and Cover because the shit posting there was just amazing. There was violence, sex, there was rock and roll, drugs, stuff like that.
I think Duck and Cover was much more Fallouty, actually, in that sense.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like I was, and I still am to some extent, I wouldn't say I'm shy. I'm a very social person nowadays, but back then I was one of these quiet kids. I was also a big kid, so I was a shy big kid, and not necessarily meaning fat. I'm just big. So it was a weird story how the most, I don't know if you could call Duck and Cover bully haven. That's probably the wrong word, but everyone was more open into insulting each other and so on. I think that was clear. But that made him more intrigued to it.
Hey, you could roast somebody, as the current language is. You could roast them, and it was fine.
Yeah. And I think that's why, like, I came back to the site once in a while, came to watch it, and I said, oh, look at what Megatron's saying to Gimp Mask, haha, and stuff like this. And I was like, hey, that's funny. I'm going to put my comment here. But wait, I'm not going to join. I'm too scared. And then, a couple of years later, after you've looked at forums for quite some time, I think I joined when I was 16 or 17. I think I lurked until I was 14, maybe 13, something like this. And then I joined. I put a name. Oh, I'm going to put myself a smart name called Amos, which means trade school person in a slang term, because I was in printing press school then. Then I looked back into a lot of forum posts, and I started just commenting there. Usually I was fairly drunk when I commented. And I've gone back to my comments and I realize how dyslexic I am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a really dyslexic fuck. so it's yeah. And I just posted like random shit sometimes. And then I think Gimp Mask one told me I thought Amos was a Alta Vasica. It's like, yeah, maybe I am. Because the funniest thing is, I didn't know Gimp Mask was Finnish until like a month ago.
Oh.
That is funny. When I started posting, I joined Vault 13 with my real first name. So I don't think I ever tried to hide my Finnishness. But I probably didn't make a big number of it either.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing. When I looked at a forum post that was title-based, I might have thrown a topic here and there, but I never really engaged with people in the forum. I read mostly stuff. And sometimes I was like too scared to engage, maybe. Maybe I wasn't very much a social internet person. I mean, we didn't have that much internet activity in our house back then. But I think like I had a feeling that everyone in Duck and Cover must have been like 20 years older than me.
I think that went for everyone, at least for me. That's what I thought as well. But looking back, it's pretty clear that everyone is 30 plus now, so we're pretty much the same age.
It's a fucking shock, though. I mean, okay, 5 years. Nowadays, 5 years doesn't really feel like much, But when you're 15 and someone's 20, it feels different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then there are people like Insane Lark, who's, I think, 50 now or something. So they were older people, Roche and I guess Saint Proverbius as well.
If Psycho Sniper would be alive, he'd probably be 52.
Yeah.
Poor Psycho Sniper.
What happened to Psycho Sniper? Did he get sniped?
I mean, he didn't post after a while and he was in Iraq, and I think I don't remember who it was. One poster said that apparently he had actually got killed in action in Iraq. I'm not sure.
Because I started thinking if any of it is true, or did we just deduct that he had died because he hadn't posted and because he was in Iraq? Maybe he just got sick of Mr. Snake.
Oh yeah, because they had so big fights once in a while. Like Psycho Sniper was such a fucking stereotypical redneck, wasn't he?
He had a kind of potato-shaped head, if I recall rightly.
Yeah, he looked like you made you want to harvest him for the summer or the winter, sorry.
Oh yeah, he was a ripe boy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Was it the same with The Guardian, the poster, not the newspaper? Because they were in Israel, I think?
Yeah.
Within the military there? I can't remember. I liked him though back in the day. An aneurysm. He was in, what was it? Portuguese Special Forces. He was good. I liked him too.
Me too. I think he just got banned, not killed.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Killed in action. The great forum wars of 2000 and whatever.
3 probably. It's interesting that Duck and Cover stayed relatively active over time, because I kind of stopped for a bit. But yeah, a lot of people just say, it's dead forum. But even that kept it going a bit. And now it's come back in it's like the good old days all over again, I think.
Do you think so?
I'm going to pretend it is.
I mean, the Discord, I'm surprised the Discord went over 5 now.
It's the 10 people now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of scary too.
If you're listening and you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. There's lots of pictures of men they all look the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of Daddy Cashlook. He's a good-looking guy.
Yes.
He's in good shape.
And if your name is Sinister Denister, I can PM you the chat logs if you wanna have a look.
Oh, by the way, is this live?
No, I've spent like few days editing the audio files, and then Megatron does the same with the video, so not live at all.
I think there is a chance if you get a good audience, like let's say all of Duck and Cover joins in a live chat, it'd probably be pretty funny.
It'd be something.
Just throwing that out there.
Can play Fallout online. Can you play in a Fallout game? Oh yeah, there's that Fallout 76, isn't there?
Yeah, let's start a Twitch account.
Considering Duck and Cover's known history, the Discord's been pretty civil.
Mostly, yeah. But I think it's a different dynamic with the chat room stuff. I don't think the Fallout IRC channel was that bad either. At least it wasn't all Fallouty. There was Rex going on about whatever all the time. Is weird stuff. But other than that, it was pretty mild. I mean, maybe not mild, but it was pretty civil, all things considered. Maybe. I don't know.
I feel because it's live, it's a bit more personal, really. So you're a bit less likely to be a dick.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the thing. I think, like, if you guys joined IRC, it was probably like, oh, okay. Can't escape the words you say right now.
Yeah.
Is the old IRC channel still on?
It's still on. I've visited it every now and then. Well, not that often, but every 5 years or so. I checked it out a couple of times in the past year, and it's really quiet. I don't know if you remember any of the old guys. There's Rizzo and OPP. Mad Max Road Warrior is in there.
Oh shit.
But usually no one's talking. Usually I just talk to myself for an hour and leave.
But at least you agree with yourself.
Oh, definitely. Not always, but like Stainless was saying, I think it has more to do with IRC than the channel.
Yeah.
No one's using IRC anymore.
That's a funny thing, though. I have to like give my Finland a tap on the back and say that we were kind of also ahead of ourselves. Like, so IRC gallery.
Yeah, Megatron, do you know about IRC gallery or IRC Galleria?
You'll have to refresh my memory, I'm afraid.
Originally, it was a website for posting pictures of yourself if you were IRC user, but then it became sort of this social media platform on its own. I feel like it was sort of a precursor to Facebook and all of that almost.
Oh yeah. Facebook's it's kind of dead though, isn't it now? I don't know. I don't use it myself.
Good. I don't. I had to leave it. I'm just fed up of the whole social media system, to be quite honest. I just like putting pictures. That's it.
I haven't been on it for a long time, but it's just loads of people I kind of know pestering me about some shit. Or it's just fucking loads of adverts. Or like reposting local newspaper articles about some fucking nonsense. So I just don't fucking bother.
No, that's why I left also. Like, it's amazing how much it's polarized everything. I mean, for me, I gotta say, like, I had to leave because it's just not good for the sanity. Like, and I'm saying like this from, regardless of your political, which politics you believe in, both sides, any sides, it's just one of these things that it feeds like the fucking anger towards another side or somebody, or it's a terrible avenue for mental health.
I think the same has happened to Instagram. Basically, I think it's a dying platform. I think about a third of the posts are ads, and I'm speaking from because I use it for professional purposes. No one sees your posts unless you're some kind of a big name. There's two choices. I could be really active on there, or do what I do now, basically, which is post something every now and then and not care about how many people see it and about follower counts, things like that. A lot of people are not happy with it. I think it'll die off if there's a new platform that works well, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I think having to just feed that algorithm with that daily content and all this other shit.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different way of working or being for me. So I just fucking can't be bothered with it, really. I don't really know what the alternative is at the minute.
Duck and cover?
Yeah, it is about duck and cover, you're right, actually. I forgot. Duck and cover all the way.
Yeah. Something like Twitter is the worst example of what you should do in a social media platform.
Okay.
I mean, it's changed a lot of how people act. I've noticed that because it came also a long time ago. What, 15, 10 years? What is it? Something like 15 years, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 or 12 or something. I don't know what year it is after 10.
I think it was 2006, something like this.
Right. Sounds right.
I think 2006.
A long time in internet years, regardless.
Yeah, and if you can just post the message, which is what, 10 characters long? What was it? It just doesn't give you a platform to discuss. That's why it's ridiculous. When you think about duck and cover, the forum is a good place to post because you can actually make an argument, a long argument. You can talk to people better. If you have something like Twitter, it just breaks the whole concept.
I don't think Duck and Cover has a really good track record of making great arguments, but
No.
but I agree, and yeah, and there were good discussions, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at the time I felt as though I was having discussions that were challenging or sort of at least interesting to me, because it was the first time I could really sort of talk to other people about similar sort of stuff I was thinking about and interested in. But at the same time, it was like going around in circles, I feel. But that's just the internet, though, isn't it?
The older internet seemed to be more, what should I say? It's not like the older internet. You can still go in 4chan and say whatever the shit you like, I don't use 4chan myself, but all these kinds of platforms, even Duck and Cover, you can, as long as you're not posting child porn, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know how admin Duck and Cover nowadays is.
Not at all.
Okay, yeah. Now think about Duck and Cover now with no fucking admins and the same posters that was like 15 years ago, 10 years ago. How much amount of gore would you have on the general discussion?
I think it also has a lot to do with the demographics of the whole thing. Everyone is 30 plus on the forums now, and probably the behavior you see on social media is a lot of younger people who are more aggressive in their opinions, I guess. I don't know.
I wouldn't say that. I know a lot of people like our age that act like complete idiots in social media and even with their own face. I think Duck and Cover is more civilized now, or actually even then, than Twitter is now.
I like it when people put clap emojis after every word they put. That really resonates. I've never been on Twitter too much. I might like look at one or two accounts now and then, but just it's not that funny to me.
I don't understand how it works.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to join Twitter. I can say that much. It just seems tedious.
The format, I just don't get it. The retweets and what have you. It's difficult to follow.
Yeah.
You can read someone's replies on the front page, but it's not showing the original message, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's a funny one. I think it's sort of a natural thing the internet needs to go through, but it's just fucking boring, really. I wish it'd just kind of move on a bit. Like we've had the kind of forums decade and then social media, or whatever's next, like virtual reality, cyberspace, whatever. Welcome back.
Thank you. It was nice to empty the old bag.
Oh, aye. Yeah, usually I'm got a bladder the size of a walnut, but luckily I'm doing okay at the minute.
I think beer is one of the main things that wants me to evacuate every time.
Oh yeah, if you're drinking pint after pint of liquid.
I think it's also like lagers. That's one of the biggest ones. Like if I would have a Guinness, that would be slower.
Yes.
I think dark beers are much more thicker. So, which gives me the question: is are you a lager man or a dark beer man? Or
I like a bit of everything, but definitely beer. I like bitter. I do like lager, but more on a hot day. But quite like a lot of ale, like bottled ale.
Ale is alright, yeah. Most people in Finland like lagers because they just go nice down. I also prefer lager. I mean, if I'd have a bitter, it'd probably be with food or something.
Yeah.
ESB is probably one of my favorites.
I'm not sure I've heard of that one. ESB or P?
ES like Bob.
Right.
Yes.
ESB.
So Fuller's.
Mm-hmm.
Fuller's ESB and I think Honeydew. Those were just one of the favorite lagers. Sorry. ESB is a bitter, I think. Honeydew is a lager, but it's a honey lager.
Oh, I like mead or med.
Media.
Or med.
Media.
Mead.
Lager?
Med. I like Stella Artois. Do you have that in Finland?
Yeah. We have Stella. I think you have it in can forms also, but I'd rather have it from the tap. Stella's okay. I enjoy it, but you get it only in capital region.
And that is, for listeners that don't know, that is Helsinki.
Yes. Or the capital region would actually be Helsinki and Espoo.
You just wanted to throw that in because you live in Espoo.
But it is true. And we're going to be shut down in next week.
Oh yeah, there's some new restrictions coming in.
Oh.
Not that restrictive, really. I had a look at the news. Nothing's gonna change for me, at least. I think there's a limit. If there's more than 10 people in the same space, then
Six.
yeah, but that's for public gatherings. It doesn't apply to workplaces.
Okay.
But there's a 10-person limit for example, tattoo studios, I guess gyms, things like that.
I know, but they're shutting down gyms. This is a weird thing. I don't like... Okay, I'm lying a bit. I kind of like lifting weights, but then what I enjoy more is martial arts. And
is this a lie or?
No, this is not a lie. But I hate working out. This is the thing. I don't understand how these things don't work together, but I like working out, but then I don't like working out.
I think I know what you mean. I like bits about exercise. I'm more of a push-ups kind of guy myself, but I like to see a difference in work I've put in. And sometimes I like doing it, but more often than not, it's just fucking boring, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Same with running.
But I like adrenaline rushes, obviously. I think sometimes you can get those in working out.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Sometimes it's just fucking annoying. But that's why I like martial arts. You know, it gives you an adrenaline rush when you're doing that.
Mm.
What sorts of martial arts are you into? Is it karate, I bet.
No.
Ninjutsu.
Judo and boxing. That's what I've done.
I've done a bit of boxing. I tried MMA for a bit, and what's it called? Muay Thai boxing as well. It's really good exercise. I never was into sparring or anything, but it's a really good full body exercise. It's fun.
Oh, I actually tried also, one thing I tried for a very short, one session. So I tried it. What was this one with the sticks? It's not Aikido. It's Shaolin. Yeah, Shaolin. Yeah, I tried that for like one time.
The problem with martial arts for me is other people.
No, yeah.
Sometimes you get this overly excited newcomer.
No, yeah.
And he's taking it a bit too serious. So when you're practicing, when you're training, you should kind of tone it down a little bit, go with 40% or something.
No, yeah.
And they're just going at it full steam ahead.
Oh, yeah.
And it's useless and it's not fun.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah, I get you.
I had a friend and we didn't really know any martial arts or anything, but he wanted to train like fighting. So me and a few of friends, we took it in turns to wrap a t-shirt around our hand and try and punch him in the face, and he'd keep backing backwards and stuff, and you could never hit him. So I think that kind of training might be good. I'm not sure. It's never put into practice. It was just something we did.
I had a friend also who is you probably see him in the Discord.
Cashlock.
No. You've seen him. He was in a bar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah. And you saw that picture. He's actually a master of karate, as they say.
The open hand.
Yeah, and judo also. And he knows the old style of judo, so he has dirty tactics. And one time he showed me the dirty tactics, and it just fucking hurts. It hurts like hell.
What's the dirty tactic?
Sticking a thumb up your ass.
Ah, right, yeah.
And also at the same time, like, quickly putting 2 fingers up your nose and slamming you on a desk.
So he put his thumb up your bum?
Huh?
Did he thumb you, or was it just, he was retelling this story?
No, that was someone else. He thumbed someone else.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But, no, he gave me the nose treatment.
Oh, sounds a bit slapstick, but yeah, I'm into it. I have a yellow belt in judo. I took 4 classes when I was young, so
Oh, yeah.
there you go. I have the minimal belt requirement.
Is there some sort of a combo move when you first stick your fingers up the arse and then stick them up the nose?
I mean, some people might like it, but I don't think there's a combo move. He hasn't taught me the dirty tactics. He just showed it to me. Except he didn't put his thumb up my ass. That was another friend of ours.
Cashlock.
It sounds more like he just wants to put his thumb up people's asses and says it's judo rather than anything else.
It's the perfect excuse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, these are old mystical tactics.
Yeah, mystical tactics. Hey, when you think about it, though, like, I mean, it is, if you want to survive, it's kind of dirty, you know? Like,
It is.
You have to go for everything that's painful.
I've heard that's what you do to dogs if it's attacking you.
No, actually, yeah, I think it's like a pit bull, for example. I think you have to kick him in its nuts as hard as possible if he has a jaw lock on you or something like that.
I think if I was being attacked by a dog, I wouldn't be thinking clearly enough. Like, there was a time I like to fantasize about, all right, if I got into this fight, what would I do? Or like, if a dog attacked me, what would I do? But nowadays, I know I'd be dead.
She's like, okay, I might as well die.
Yeah, I could just give up,
Yeah.
flop around.
It's been a good life. You know?
Yeah.
I hope Duck and Cover will remember me.
They will, I'll be.
Like Psycho Sniper.
Yeah, but in seriousness, thank you to all the troops that have served and a big part of the community.
Yes. Like Kashlik.
Yes.
Salute.
Is he still in the army then?
No. But he has. I think he gets called a lot into reserve like practices because he's that good. Like in Finland, if you keep your military, what do you call it? Like shooting, for example, if you go to a shooting range, you have like work that somehow relates to the military. They will call you more up into reserve service.
Yeah, like Call of Duty.
He sells insurance.
Don't ruin this for Kashlik.
The universal soldier.
Oh yeah, good. Oh, good for him. Good family man. I feel he gets talked about quite often on the podcast. So
I mean, he has to. He's just made that persona from himself. He showed his face. I think he's one of the first people to show his face. No, wait, was that Nikolai or who? Wait.
I think he was quite. I remember like band pictures of Sanitarium, and he was off to one side. So I think he was definitely proud, and rightfully so. It was also good to hear that the drummer, Simo, who was the mascot for the podcast. Simo is a drummer in an actual band.
But wait, who is Simo? Because I haven't catched on this.
Simo is quite a short, blonde-haired Finnish drummer, if I remember rightly, and he was in a band called Sanitarium.
But did he have anything to do with Duck and Cover other than like he was in the video?
No. He just struck me as a funny kind of character. Maybe Gimp can remember better. I just remember...
Gimp, we're getting
Simo.
feedback from you.
Oh, sorry. I was rubbing my eyes.
With the microphone.
Yeah.
Do you remember why we remembered Simo more than anybody else in Sanitarium?
I think he's just a memorable guy. Yeah. Kick-ass drummer.
Yeah.
Almost can keep a beat.
Yeah.
And yeah, good-looking guy. Just a stand-up dude. Some people have a very forgettable face, and he's definitely not one of those. That's why you were able to make such a realistic portrait of him in 3D.
You're mesmerized by his looks.
Yeah. I don't even know what he does. As Kaslok said, he's a professional drummer, but that's not saying much.
It's not like he works for Nightwish or something.
I don't know, maybe he does.
No, maybe.
Do you think Kaslok looks just a tiny little bit like Ron Perlman?
Yeah, maybe because he has the Mongolian eyes.
Mongolian eyes. I think that's the proportions.
Kaslok is a good example of what Finnish people look like.
Oh yeah. I have a very similar nose.
Yeah? I have a pointy nose.
So with the Hong Kong connection, when are you like a Hong Konger, or were you born to Finnish parents that were in Hong Kong, and then what's the story? Is what I'm trying to say.
The story is actually quite complicated.
If it's too complicated, that's okay.
My mother and father are Finnish. My grandparents are Finnish. But my father's side of the family decided to go become missionaries in Africa.
It's far away from Hong Kong.
Yeah. So, from there, my father learned English, and that was also his first language. The only time my father has actually lived in Finland was when he was in the army. So I speak English to my father and my brother, but I do not speak English to my mother.
I barely speak to my mother.
Hey! No, I barely speak to my father right now, to be honest. But there's a whole China connection to that, too.
Okay. Interesting. So when did you move from Hong Kong to Finland?
I mean, we came back and forth, but I was around 6 years old then. 5 years old, something like that.
Ah, right. So do you remember Hong Kong much at all then, or is it more of a...
Quite a lot. I mean, it was... Because you're born in a place, you know? You remember that, because that's where you were, like, living for the first part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you do get memories from that. I did also return when I was 10 years old and when I was 18.
But Duck and Cover was your actual home, you felt?
Yes. Yes, I felt it was a home I could, like, throw shit at once in a while and just run away.
Yeah.
Behind the garbage cans.
You haven't been that active on the forums. You have, I don't know, 300 posts, something like that?
Yeah, 397, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that was really specific. But I think you're part of the DAC canon.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's just the Finnish connection, but I remember you from the olden days.
Well, I mean, I joined the forum back in 2007. So I've been a long time part of the community, back when, like, Fallout 3 hadn't came out yet, you know? Also, I made fun of Fallout 3 fans who came to the forum, if you guys remember that era.
Oh, yeah. A lot of bad members.
Yeah, I debated them sometimes. I don't think I was ever mean to people there, or, like, saying meanful things. I was just like, okay, I think there was this one Fallout 3 fan who came and saying something about how Fallout 3 is more superior than Fallout 2 or 1. Maybe not even superior, but something like Fallout 3 being good. And I just said to him, like, well, I mean, how is that possible when you don't have a choice of your actions? I don't know. I'm becoming a Fallout fan right now, again. And I don't want to do this again. But yeah. But I mean, It's just so sad when a genre which was based on like philosophical questions and like stupid humor became this stupid humor. New Vegas was good. I mean, that's it.
It was kind of funny that most of us probably hadn't even played the third game. Just giving shit to all the new people. But then again, we were right. It did suck.
Look, Fallout 3 doesn't suck as a game. It's fun to play, but it's not.
It shouldn't be a Fallout game.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It has some of the themes, but then again, it's just it's a roller coaster. It's a theme park. That's it. That's what Bethesda games are.
It's a post-apocalyptic Minecraft.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like when you have Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, they explore what happens after a post-war situation, post-apocalyptic war situation. And the society actually evolves. In Bethesda Fallout, the society stays in the 1950s. It never goes forward. Even New Vegas made like good like steps in. Okay, Nevada is now opening. It used to be a tribal society, and people are coming together to make a better society and whatnot. And then NCR is coming from California to expand. And then you got Caesar's Legion, which is coming from Arizona to expand. So it's a clash of worlds, and it makes sense. Fallout 3 is just vampires, cannibal Republicans, cool aircraft carrier, Enclave. Obviously, you have to have the Enclave.
Do you guys think it would be even possible to make a so-called good Fallout game today?
No.
Well, not how they have made the Fallout 4 and so on. I mean, Megatron, have you played Fallout New Vegas?
No.
Well, I mean, if you have the time, I would wholeheartedly recommend it.
I did like it as well, yeah.
It definitely looks like my cup of tea. Maybe I will play it, and then I can reflect on it in the forums. Is it more in line with the first two?
Yeah. It's like has the old makers of Fallout 1 and 2.
Ah.
So it has Chris Avalon and Josh Sawyer, and I think Fergus Urquhart is also in it, kind of.
I think the main reason why I haven't played it yet is I'm not a massive fan of the Las Vegas aesthetic. I couldn't really like gambling, all that kind of thing.
I understand that, but there is so much more in there. Like there's a lot of Van Buren. There's a lot of Van Buren design docs that they put into the game too.
Mm-hmm. Is there a lot of slime? Is there pits or anything like that? Mutants?
The mutants. There's Can I spoil it?
Yeah.
Marcus is back.
Oh, good. I liked him. He was one of my favourite ones.
And the Nightkin are back, but it's basically the Nightkin are going schizophrenic because of the use of stealth boys, and the mutants are kind of fractured. You have to kind of either dialogue between them and say like, "Hey guys, do you want to leave this place? Because it's not going to be your savior place or whatever." And yeah, I mean, there's actually the mutants aren't mindless. You can talk to them.
That sounds good then.
It has dialogue choices to every quest. You really can't win the game without violence, but you can get very close to it.
Is that the one with all the... It's like a Roman thing?
Yeah, Kaiser's Legions is kind of the main antagonist. But you can join them too.
I'll give that a look. I really liked Arcanum, thinking back to those types of games.
Yeah.
They should bring that back.
I think they were thinking about it, but actually Obsidian, who made New Vegas, they made Pillars of Eternity. Was that it? And they're making now a 3D version of that.
Was Pillars of Eternity the one with turn-based combat, and it was pretty difficult? You could pretty much do anything.
I actually don't know, but I've heard so much positive about it.
So I think there's two games. There's it's Divinity and Pillars of Eternity. I always get them mixed up, but I guess Pillars of Eternity maybe was the one where you had endless choices, you could do anything, but I never cared much for the fantasy theme, so I never played it.
Yeah, that's for me. That's the same thing. I'm tired. Everywhere is fantasy. I prefer more either sci-fi, post-apoc, or film noir even.
Oh yeah, I like a detective thing. I didn't like that LA Noir.
I never played that. It's a GTA Rockstar game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked good, but if you fucked up like an interview thing, You had to start all at the beginning again.
Yeah.
And I really hate repetition
No, yeah.
to that extent.
Yeah, repetition is terrible in those kind of games. It's not an open world at that point.
Yeah. I'd rather make a mistake and stick by it. I really hate repetition.
Yeah, repetition is terrible. But I mean, New Vegas, definitely wholeheartedly recommend it. It actually feels like going back into an old Fallout game. Just you have to realize that everything's different. Oh, and by the way, Cassidy's daughter's in it.
Sounds good.
So New Vegas, everyone play that one. Listen to the podcast.
Oh yeah,